Hi Capricorn, welcome to your weekend horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Capricorn, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Lovers card, right? So choices, options and all of that good stuff, but also love, relationships, partnerships and connections. Remember, the Lovers card is literally about love, relationships, connections, connecting to people, finding new connections, but it's also about choices and options. And so these are the things that are really going to be highlighted to you in all of these different sectors of your life this week. For your actions and options, you have the Nine of Swords. So you can choose to be in your head or you can choose to get ahead. Right, those are the two options that you have when it comes to your actions and options this week. You can choose to be in your head or you can choose to get ahead. This week it does look like you're deliberating over something and it's causing you a whole bunch of anxiety because your mind is doing what your mind is meant to do. It's magnifying, it's hyping it up. And this week, if you go into here and you start thinking of all of those worse and bad scenarios, that's what you're going to get more of, all right? This is a week to be really conscious of your thought process. In terms of getting ahead, this week, you need to make sure you stay well rested. Remember, the Nine of Swords can sometimes tell us that sleep can be disrupted or upheaved, like there could be all kinds of challenges with that. So you need to make sure that you're looking after yourself so that you can think good thoughts, so you can think healthy thoughts. For your communications and conversations, you have the Seven of Wands this week, right? So it does look like communication is going to be a little bit fraught this week, right? You've got this right underneath the Lovers card. So the choices and the options that you have here are you can stand and fight and argue, or you can express your point and walk away, right? That really is going to be the best use of your time and energy this week. For those of you that are employees or work for somebody else, this week, it's really asking you to choose your battles wisely. Pick your battles wisely. Is something actually worth fighting for? Or is it worth just finding a way to let it go and say, okay, you know what, that was that, I'm just going to leave it be. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for, that have their own business, this week, when it comes to your choices and your options, you can choose to get bogged down by the fine print and the small, all the small stuff, as they say, don't sweat the small stuff, or you can think about what the bigger, longer term goal or overarching mission actually is. It feels to me as well like a lot of you might be rewriting a mission statement of your business this week. Maybe there's something that you foresee in your future that you say, actually, you know what? This was heading this way, but now I feel like my priorities, now I feel like my end goal or my end game or my reason for doing what I'm doing has shifted or changed in some way, shape or form. Now, when we shift ourselves or our anything in our lives really, the people that are tied to us, the people that are attached to us have to shift their point of reference or focus. And if they don't do that, then they're not going to resonate with who you are or where you're going from here on in. You need to be prepared to walk that path regardless. Sometimes it can be a lonely path. Sometimes it can be really disconcerting, to have people that have been with us a long time to say, actually, you know what, I don't really like where this is going now. That's fine, but you still have to walk the path that is uniquely yours. When it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this week, it looks like you may either be battling on behalf of a lover or a loved one. It looks like something that you have to say. It's like maybe you're defending someone where they can't defend themselves, or maybe you're defending someone where they won't defend themselves. And so then you need to ask yourself, again, choose your battles wisely. If someone's not willing to fight for themselves, like, don't get me wrong, maybe this person can't because they're tired, they're exhausted, whatever. That's a slightly different story. But if you see that somebody just doesn't want to help themselves, it's really, really hard to step in on that person's behalf, right? So just, you got to pick your battles wisely this week and ask yourself, is this battle, this fight, this challenge worth me actually having? Or is it just going to go back to the same thing once I've said my piece and then everybody looks at me like I'm the monster? Got to take a moment to think this week. For your money and materials, you've got the King of Swords. So some of you, it looks like you are starting new jobs, maybe starting new responsibilities. And look, this is what you're all in your head or all in your feels about, right? It's like, ooh, do I have the smarts? I mean, hello, you're a Capricorn. Do I have the smarts for it? Am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be questioning yourself this week and you really don't need to. The fact that you have the King of Swords as well, there is a jump towards finances. It looks like you'll be connecting with a Gemini person this week as well through the work. Someone that may really be able to help you get ahead. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your skin, your blood, any of your systems, and even your nervous system. You have to find a way to really look after yourself this week and find a way to relax yourself. You know, this week you need to find a way to relieve all of your tension, you know, whatever that might be. For your home and environment, well, look, again, for some of you it looks like you're having to really clearly define or outline what the future is going to look like for you. If that looks like going to see a counselor, if it looks like going to see a therapist, if it looks like really speaking on what has been bothering you for all this time, like what's going on, all right? Like, this could be a week to really get to the root of that sort of thing. For your love and relations, you have the Three of Cups. So for those of you that have had challenges or issues in your relationships, that have had maybe bust ups and blow ups and all the rest of it, this week it comes good. Like, you get back to where you are, you're getting back on target, you're getting back on track. This is actually a very good thing because it means that in a lot of ways, you know, you're burying the hatchet, maybe whatever you and your partner have disagreed on. It's not so much that it's going away, but you're remembering, okay, you know what, we're not fighting each other, we're fighting for the same thing. So, you know what, let's hold hands and look out towards the same direction. For those of you that are single, this looks more like a reconnection here. Three of Cups is very often about reunions, and so this feels for me like, for those of you that are single, you could be getting in touch with an ex, or they could be getting in touch with you, and it's kind of like maybe you didn't part on the best of terms, but there is room for reconciliation here. Maybe it won't become a relationship again, but there is definitely a chance for a friendship. However, because you've got this Seven of Wands here in the middle, it looks like that friendship is newly redefined, and you're going to have to be really clear from the offset. This is what it will be, this is what it won't be, this is where you can intrude, this is where you can't. You're going to have to be really clear cut about this stuff, otherwise you're just going to end up with more of the same. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.